I'd like to start by publicly thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the continued chesed that He shows me day after day, and also to mention that the neshamot of the holy soldiers that were killed today should all have an aliyah, and that all should be well for the klal as soon as possible. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Yoel Meir, Massimo Anastasio, born and raised in Montreal, and I was granted the most precious privilege to join the klal on the 25th of ER of the year 5782. So I'm really not good at public speaking, except maybe in my previous capacity as a border guard when I would lecture people for not declaring their goods and seize their stuff. So a great friend of mine mentioned a mashal recently where someone's making a chasana and guests slowly come in. The chatan and kala wait until the last minute to walk down the aisle to make sure that everybody gets there. They want to have the best possible celebration, perfect celebration. So we stand here in Zman Geula. We're waiting for the coming of Mashiach. I guess one could say that Hashem is waiting for all of us to return, for those in the program, to the light of the Torah. I guess there's a certain parallel to be made with current events, even though all of us feel a tremendous amount of pain given the current events in Eretz Israel. It's worthwhile mentioning that there's been a tremendous level of achdut that has emerged, and Jews have returned to the light of the Torah, and interested non-Jews have come forward. Hashem is waiting for all of us to return or come to the light of the Torah. In Parshat Bereshit, we learn that Hashem created light and separated it from darkness by calling it day and darkness night. Hashem saw that light was good and separated it. Rashi brings down that He saw it was not proper for the Rashaim, for the wicked, to use it, so He separated it for the righteous to use at some point in the future. It's a different kind of light, not the light as we commonly know it, but rather a hidden spiritual light, impossible for us to describe materially. My biggest struggle in life prior to being given the incredible honor of joining the klal was I perceived a certain meaninglessness, emptiness, or lack of higher purpose in secular life. You wake up, you go to work, have dinner, go to bed, copy and paste, rewind, same thing week after week. And Baruch Hashem, although I've been very privileged in my life in a general sense, all my life, and I'm very grateful for it, something major was nonetheless missing. It's interesting to note that I had a yearning for Torah since my most tender years. I was one of the last cohort of Quebec students who had mandatory religion classes, obviously not Jewish, in public elementary school. But I remember tremendously being moved by the limited learning that we had of the Torah portion of what was taught, and complete indifference with regards to everything else, to the other half that they teach, to their other half. A lot of people don't know that, but I actually walked into a shul when I was 12 years old and asked the rabbi to convert me. I was a kid back then, so they didn't take me seriously, but here I am like a couple years later.
He's still a rabbi today, correct?
I'm sorry?
No,
he's actually nifter, but the chazan is still around.
Oh, wow.
That being said, I was surrounded by Jewish friends from a young age. I learned some basic Hebrew in my teenage years, traveled to Eretz Israel, took on the mitzvahs of Noach, and when my calling for Torah and Judaism became too strong, seriously did, I decided to make the initial contact with Mrs. Brown from no other place than the Makom Kedusha of the Lakol border crossing. Believe it or not, I actually hid in a booth to take that first call that we, in a closed booth, to take the first call that we had. So through living a frum life, eventually going to yeshiva and daily limud Torah, I've come to life of Torah, a life of real light, meaningfulness, and fulfillment. The light of Torah and mitzvahs has bettered me and refined me and allowed me to reach new heights and enabled me to embark on this amazing life that I'm on. Moshe Rabbeinu says in Parashat Nitzavim that the Torah is not in Shemayim or across the sea, but rather is very close to us. It's in our mouth, in our heart, so that you could fulfill it. What we're all looking for is not necessarily in Shemayim, it's not halfway across the world or in some mystical place. It's it's not someplace else. It's very close, actually, really, really close. Moshe tells us that it's within us. The life of Torah is therefore within us. On Hanukkah, light shows up in an obvious way, not in Shemayim, not across the sea, but glowing in our homes, at the Vad Ha'ir, our windows, and in our hearts. So that's it. Thank you very much. Hanukkah Sameach, Chodesh Tov, and all the best.